Prapanch, if you can hear me, we do have the latest visuals from Kalakuruchi coming in. The family of the 16-year-old girl who allegedly died by suicide. Now they have in fact accepted the court's orders and they have accepted the body, and the last rites are now being conducted.
As you can see that the last rites are being conducted. Here we are at the Perianasalur village, the native place of the girl. In fact, the village, it comes under the Kadalur district in Vepur. Now we could see that the final rites are being conducted. The girl is being buried. The final rites are being conducted by the parents, and the girl will be buried shortly. Now we need to understand that after an ordeal of almost 10 days, we could see almost she died on the intervening night of 12th and 13th at a private school in Kalakuruchi in Chinnaselam, and subsequently the parents raised suspicion in the cause of death and demanded justice for their daughter. And we could see that they had even filed a petition in Madras High Court, as well as they approached the Supreme Court demanding, in fact, to include their doctor in during the post-mortem. However, their, in fact, demands were not agreed upon, and further, we could see that 2 post-mortems were conducted. The parents were not present during the second post-mortem. Now we can also understand that subsequently the district administration tried to establish contact with the parents. And subsequently we could understand that the court has ordered the doctors from the JICMA to examine both the post-mortem reports, the first post-mortem as well as the second post-mortem, along with the videos that were taken during the post-mortem, the first post-mortem and the second post-mortem. Those post-mortem visuals and reports will be examined by the team of doctors from JICMA, which is in Puducherry, and subsequently a report will be submitted to the court. Now we can understand that the time for the parents was given till 11 a.m. in the morning today, that they need to in fact take an action and in fact bury to conduct final rites for the daughter. Now we could see that yesterday they had approached the court and they had sought a time between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. to receive the body from the district administration. By morning 6:45 a.m., the family members of the girl, the parents had come, the mother and the father, they received the body from Kalakuruchi General Hospital College, and they received the body and they came towards their native village, which is almost 50 kilometers from Kalakuruchi. That is Perianasalur in Vepur in Kadalur district. And here we could see the village people, along with friends, relatives, family members, had come to pay respects to the the mortal remains of the girl. And subsequently, now we could see that the body has been brought for final rites, and you can see whole of the village had gathered to pay last respects. Now we can also see that there was a heavy police deployment in Kalakuruchi as well as in Perianasalur. Yesterday, the police officials had made an announcement at Perianasalur that anybody from the village who does not belong to the village had to leave. Only the people from the village were allowed to stay, and the family members, also the friends, were allowed to stay. And anyone who had to come out from other than the village had to show proper ID cards to enter the village. So we could see heavy police protection being deployed, because on the 17th, we could see a group of people had ransacked the private school, vandalized the properties, and also, took the properties along with them. There were several properties that was recovered from the nearby villages. Police SIT team, special investigation team formed by the DGP Tamil Nadu, is conducting investigation at the spot. CBCID teams are conducting investigation regarding the death and also about the violent protest that occurred on 17th of this month. Subsequently, we could see that there were more than 300 persons who were arrested by the police officials who indulged in the violent protests. They have been sent to judicial remand. Now we could see that SIT team is probing into the issue, and also there's a team that is also trying to figure out what had happened. How did the crowd mobilize themselves? How did they come to the school? Why did the whole event occur? Because until 17th, till 16th, the parents, along with their family members, were conducting protests peacefully that was demanding justice for their daughter. However, on 17th morning, the protest took a violent turn when some miscreants had involved themselves in the protest. The parents have categorically stated that they were not in the protest and it had completely taken a violent turn. And they've even appealed to the protesters to, stop the violence. Now we could see that after almost 10 days, the girl's body was, received by the girl's parents. And now the mortal remains are, it was brought to the village, and there they paid the final tributes. And subsequently, now it will be, seen to be that it will be buried now. So we could see that it is all being done amidst heavy police deployment.
Absolutely there, because we are looking at a sea of people there, especially all from the native villages who have come across to pay their respects to the girl. But also, there was a certain delay, Prapanch, that was caused in the last rites of the girl to take place there, especially after the second post-mortem. The parents were not available and they had reached out. The Madras High Court had said that it is time that the last rites be conducted. And it has taken certain and considerable amount of time for that to be conducted today.
Allegations by the parents,
Yes.
and that is why they were demanding their own doctor to be present during the post-mortem, which we could see that the court had categorically denied. They had said, in fact, the Supreme Court also, we could see that they had stayed to a new separate post-mortem, and we could see that during the second post-mortem, though the parents were allowed, the father and the advocates were allowed to be present during the post-mortem, district administration tried to contact them. They tried to establish contact with the parents, the mother, the advocate. However, they could not talk to the parents. They were not responding. Nobody was responding. And they had stuck notices on the house of the girl. And in fact, they also informed that they will be conducting post-mortem on that particular day. They did not turn up. And subsequently, the district administration went ahead and conducted the post-mortem by the team of doctors appointed by the court. And subsequently, after that, late that night, after conducting the second post-mortem, another notice was stuck on their house that the post-mortem had been conducted. And the police tried to, in fact, contact the official parents. And also they said that these are the numbers we tried. We sent messages to this number. However, we're not able to reach you. And this is the information. Please collect the body for the final rites. So these were the two notices that were stuck on the house of the girl. And now we could see that subsequently, after the court's order yesterday, the parents had agreed to receive the body, and they had said that they would be receiving the body between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. The parents came at around 6:45. The father of the girl and the mother of the girl had come. They received the body from the district administration, and they took her body to the native village, which is Periyanasalur in Kadalur district. Thereafter, people had come, their relatives had come to pay final tributes to the girl. And subsequently, we could see there was a grief among the people because the whole village was grieving at the loss of their village child. Now we could see that they have all come. Most of the villagers are here at the burial grounds. Shortly, in some time, the whole, ritual will be over. So we could see these are done amidst a heavy police protection from Kallakurichi till Periyanasalur. Heavy police deployment could be seen. None of the people who do not belong to the village are not allowed here until they show proper credentials.
Absolutely. So she is now being laid to rest. The Kallakurichi death case victim, where she is now being laid to rest, her mortal remains are now being buried. This is the burial ceremony, her funeral that is taking place amidst a sea of people there. and all from the same village and adjoining villages who have also joined in to pay their last respects.